As we have seen, all sins committed, they are outside our bodies, but the sin of sexual immorality affects our bodies internally. And as we have seen that the sexual immorality, it affects our mind, it affects our body, and it affects our relationship with God. It also affects our intellectual ability. That's why we are being told in the book of 1 Corinthians 6 verse 18, free sexual immorality. Every sin that a man does is outside the body, but he who commits sexual immorality sins against his own body. God is calling us to free from sexual immorality. Why? Because every sin a man commits, he commits outside his body, but the sin of sexual immorality is inside one's body and is against his own body. In the book of Exodus 20 verse 14, this is the commandment of God, where God is commanding us that we shall not commit adultery. Thou shalt not commit adultery. And we have done this in many forms. We have misused sexual intercourse in many forms, whereby we have homosexuality, men and men sleeping together, and we have seen it as a good habit. Female and female also sleeping together, lesbianism, and we have seen it as a normal thing. We have what you call incest, relatives sleeping together. We have bestiality, sex with animals. We have rape, we have fornication, and we have adultery. All these forms of sexual immorality, we are being called to free from them. We are called to God to free from all this sexual immorality. These sexual immoralities are the external enemy forces. They are the one which will ruin our relationship with God. So, Paulo is saying, Paulo commands us to free from this one. The book of James 4 verse 7, therefore submit to God, resist the devil, and he will free from you. We should resist the devil so that he will free from us. We should submit to God, and God will submit to us. In Genesis chapter 39, we found the story of Joseph. Joseph was being sold to Egypt by his brothers. And after being sold to Egypt, we see him in the house of Potiphar. And Potiphar's wife demanded to lie with Joseph. But we see Joseph fleeing away from sexual immorality. Joseph ran away. Joseph knew that the temptation was against God. Joseph encountered the temptation, but he fled away. Although Potiphar's wife was using charm and weapons of allure, attractions, and appeal to get him to fall, but Joseph stood firm. All forms which Potiphar's wife used to allure, to entice Joseph, Joseph ran away and stood firm. The temptation wasn't merely to lie with her, but to be with her, and Joseph knew that the proximity was a dangerous part. Joseph knew that the sexual immorality is a great sin and a great wickedness against God. Though he had many horizontal relationships to think about, the relationship about his father, the relationship about his brothers, the relationship about his master, the relationship about his master's wife, but his primary focus was on his relationship with God. Joseph, his primary focus was on the relationship about God. He focused on the relationship about God. He knew that this was not God's desire. This was not God's willing. This was not God's plan, all God's pleasure. Joseph was constantly aware that God was with him and treasured this presence and the source of his strength, integrity, and purity. Joseph knew full well that God was with him, and he treasured this presence of God. He never wanted to ruin the relationship between him and God. He wanted to treasure the presence of God. He minded, and he never wanted to make this great wickedness against God. Now, what are the steps to free sexual immorality? Number one, master media habits. What do you watch? The pornography which you watch, they affect your body. Watching images of temptation on social media, videos, website, etc., they will affect us. What does the Bible say? the book of Luke 11:34-35. The lamp of the body is the eye. Therefore, when your eye is good, your whole body is also full of light. But when your eye is bad, your body is also full of darkness. Therefore, take heed that the light which is in you is not darkness. Take heed what you got. The lamp of the body is your eye. Therefore, when your eye is good, your whole body is good. But when your eye is bad, the full of your body is full of darkness. What we see is what we get, and what we become. What you see, what you got is what you get, and what you watch is what automatically you will become. Jeremiah says in the book of Job says in the book of Job 31:1, I have made a covenant with my eyes. Why then should I look upon a young woman? Make a covenant with your eyes. Make a covenant not to look upon things which will make you to fall into temptation. 1 Corinthians 3:18. But we all, with unveiled face, beholding as in the mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed into the same image from glory to glory, just as by the Spirit of God. Remember that whatever you watch determines what you learn. What you learn determines the information in your head. And the information in your head determines your decision. And your decisions determines the direction of your life. So what is the direction of your life? The direction of your life is being determined by what you watch, and what you watch is also very important in your life. Just as David resolved to put nothing wicked before his eyes, let us also do the same. The book of Psalms 101:3. Jesus also warns us about visual, saying that lasting starts with the eye. The book of Matthew 5:28 and 29. And it says, but I say to you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after, he had committed adultery with her already in his heart. Anyone who looks at a woman and lusts for her, he has committed adultery. And if thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out and cast it out from thee. For it is profitable for thee that one of thy members should perish, and not that the whole body should cast into the hell. So, what do you watch? If you look at a woman and you lust for him, automatically you have committed sexual adultery. If one of your right eye causes you to sin, pluck it, because it is profitable for you to lose one part of your body rather than losing the whole body in hell. We are told that this doesn't only pertain to male, but female also. It also pertains to how we present ourselves on the exterior, to either encourage or discourage various thoughts. How do you present yourself? How do you dress yourself? Does your dressings encourage or discourage various thoughts? Number 2, how can you free from sexual immorality? Diet and exercises. Engaging in a plant-based diet increases various abilities of the brain and optimal performance of the body. Exercise also provides equilibrium of hormones. Thus, diet and exercise can do wonders towards sexual immorality. What you eat determines how your body will react. The exercise you do also will determine how will your body react. We are being told that